Everybody, I'm here as Artisan Loom to show you an original design of mine called the Metallic Tread, and I made this design 51 weeks ago, so it's one of my very early designs. I don't know why I like it. I just think it's really cool, really simple. I'm going to try to recreate it in similar colors, except for I'm going to use the cylindric jet black, and I'm going to use the Persian black like I had here, and instead of using the metallic or the medieval black, I'm going to just use the medieval sweets and just see what happens with it. That's what I'm going to use, but if you want to see for sure, if you scroll down on my account, you'll see the metallic tread right here 51 weeks ago. So this is what the front of it looks like. That's before I started making, this is just like a prototype. I didn't make full wraps back then. And this is the back of it. So hopefully, if all goes well, I can recreate this in some much nicer bands. It's very thin, very lightweight, and maybe I can make it look even better. We'll see. Okay, this is a 3-pin bar design. Just set up just like this. All 3 pegs are at the same height. Okay. So go ahead and pick your colors, and you don't have to do black. I just decided to kind of recreate it in the same kind of colors. And go ahead and pick your colors, and we'll get started. So we're going to go ahead and lay the bands, which will be your border, and I'm going to bead those every other one. Okay, I'm going to do it in jet black cylindric. So we're going to start off with going to the left and then going to the right. Okay. And then every other one will be a beaded band. So here's, I took a bead and put it on. It has kind of little spikes on it. I thought that was appropriate. Okay, and you're just going to do every other one all the way up. On both sides, we'll have a bead. If you choose to bead, that's fine. If not, that's fine too. So go ahead and finish that till you get I think we're going to go to the top. Let me see. Let's do this. This is 1 full loom length. Okay, this one that I did. So it's not super tight. So it's about halfway, a little more than halfway. We might want to stop, depending on your wrist, a little bit before we hit the top. So I'm probably going to stop about the 4th peg from the top. I think that's where I'm going to stop. So go ahead and figure out the size of your wrist, because it's not a real tight design, so it's not going to shrink. You know, on the other designs that are real super tight and a lot of bands, it tends to shrink the design. So this one won't. And so, yeah. And you know what? I may even, nope, I'm not. I was going to say I may even put a double border on this so that I can, what do you call it? Chain it, but I'm not going to. We'll just leave it at this. But go ahead and figure out the size of your wrist and stop where you think your wrist size should stop, okay? And I want you to get your border done. We've got to add these bands. And what I did was we're going to do a straight band going across. We're going to start here and do one. I've already done it. And I've already done this one and this one. So, just going to take, I'm using my black sweets, and I'm just going to put a band going across on every peg. This is a very simple design, actually, and it comes out really, really cool looking. But you have to use beads. Maybe not on the border, but you need to use beads when you do the center part, because I don't know how else it would look if you didn't, because this kind of draws it together. If you didn't, it would just be a bunch of circles in the center, so or ovals. So, but I guess you could try it if you wanted to. I haven't done it without, but just do this the entire way up the loom. So, I wanted to show you where I stopped. I stopped 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the 7th peg from the top, because that's my wrist size. And I wanted to stop where there was a a single band without a bead on it because that's how we started it. Okay, so now I took a band, which is going to be my Persian black, and I took a 6/0 seed bead and I put it on there, and I've also made another one, and so there's a silver one, the silver one, and then the copper one. I guess that's kind of a coppery looking color. And so I'm going to alternate them going down. So basically what you're going to do is you are going to place it on this peg, and then the bead part will go, okay, you're just putting both ends of the bands, one on this side, one on that side, and then the bead will just hang out in the center. Okay, and then so that was my silver. Now I'm going to do that on every peg going up. So this side will get put on, and then I'll just span it around to here. And if you need to get your hook to bring this in the center, you can put it through and then bring it, push it over until it gets towards the center. Okay, and then I'm going to go with the silver, and that's how we're going to do it all the way up the loom. Okay, and then the copper. So I think you can somewhat see this is a super simple design. Actually, when I made this design, I did a whole nother step that goes along with it that is actually quite ridiculous what I did. It came out to where all I would have had to do was this. There was a whole nother step involved that was kind of confusing, and but ultimately when I took it off the loom, it had all these cap bands hanging out at the top, so I just went ahead and snipped them, and then they all fell into place. Just if I totally left that step out, that's why I'm leaving it out now. So pretty simple. Do this all the way up to the very end. So now I'm going to alternate between my Persian black and my going back to my black sweets. Okay, and all we're going to do is I'm going to start off with my black sweets first, and we're just going to go from the left peg to the center, and then my center to the right. So that's all you're going to do. And then I'm going to go in with my Persian, but you can do whatever color you want. Just make sure you put beads or it's really not going to come out that nice. At least I don't think it will. I don't know. And then the metallic or the glitter sweets again. But that's all you're going to do the entire way up the loom. Trying to keep them as straight as I can without being twisted. All the way up the loom. Okay, and then you're going to put a cap band in the center all the way down. Okay, so do those two steps and I'll meet you. So I finished that. I did put a band from here to here, here to here, and then put a cap band all the way down to the very end. And now we're ready to turn the loom around. This is pretty simple. Basically, we're going to just loop these out, going through the cap band, and then loop them back to themselves outward. Okay. Okay, so my son is playing a game and he is loud as all get out. Computer game, which I love when he plays it because he rages and then I can't do what I need to do. So I'm going to go off camera and go put the smack down on him. I think I got it. I think I got him. At least calmed him down a bit. Okay, so still going the cap band. And then just bring it out to your left, go back in the cap band, bring it to your right. And you're going to do that the entire way up the loom. So go ahead and finish that. And we're almost done. It's a pretty simple design. We're not even going to mess with these cross bands that go there. All we're going to do is do the border next. And then it just comes out real neat. It's like these are surrounded by an oval. So it's pretty cool. Okay, so I'm going to finish looping these out and then I'll come back, show you how to do the border and meet me at the top of the secret. So now what we need to do is just do the border. So I'm going to go in through all the bands, including this long band, and grab the border and bring it over. Okay, and just go all the way up the loom on both sides, and then meet at the center at the top. Okay, so when you get that done, meet me at the top. I'll have a C-clip handy, and we will take it off of the loom. I made it to the top, brought both to the center. Going to put my hook in through all the bands, put my border color band, pull it towards me, up, and on the hook. Pretty simple. And I hit, there it is. I was going to say I lost my C-clip. Okay, go ahead and put my C-clip on, let it hang out there. And pretty crazy that there could be a design that looks like this, huh? So simple, but yet looks really cool. Okay, so now what we got to do is take it off the loom. So since it's only 3 pin bars, I'm going to take it off by each one, okay? So I'm going to take it off, and I'll meet you back here when you get yours off, and I'll show you what mine looks like. Just took it off the loom. Now I'll take it off the hook. Let's see what we have here. Wow, that's pretty cool, and I haven't even fixed the bands yet. So you can pull on the bands, straighten it out. I don't know why you would need to though, because honestly it was just oval bands, but and look what it looks like, okay, in the center. So I'm going to fix my bands, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through, and you see that oval shape right there, just that oval one. I want to make sure that's sitting to where it's on the colors, well, it's exactly going around like that, okay? And then obviously you're going to have that band in the center, and you can move your bead to the center. And then I'm going to do the same on the next one, make sure that it's where I want it, and actually this part is a little bit inward, so I'm going to pull on this, get it where I would like it to be, pull on the center, and then I can just maneuver it the way that I want it to look. Pull on the center, make sure the bands are not twisted. And it's going to lay a little bit better too once I fix this border, because the border is kind of tucking in. So I'm going to fix the bands, and then I'm going to tug on the border to get these get it untucked, and then I'm going to take the band using my fingers and slide it to the center of the band, okay? That way it doesn't lay like that, but it lays, well, let me see. I pull these up, put that in the center. So it lays like that instead of like that, okay? And I'm going to do that all the way down and fix all my bands and get my golds looking, see, because I want more of the golds showing here. So I'll go through and I'll twist a little bit to get it showing a little bit more. And then pull on it, tug it, whatever, and then move the bead around, and we'll get it to sitting just properly. So anyhow, this is the right size for me for my wrist. I might have could have went up one more, but I think this is perfect. See? Perfect. By the time I get either a button lock on there or put one link in, I'm good to go. Really, really cool. So anyhow, this I'm going to go fix my bands, and then I'll show you what it looks like all cleaned up. Fix my bands, got them all cleaned up how I would like them to lay, and I just love it. I just love it. So hopefully you'll love it too. So this is the metallic tread This is the original one from 51 weeks ago, and this is the new and updated. Same design, just with a little bit more detail to it. So hopefully you enjoy it, and we'll give it a try. So, okay, take care. Bye.